A big congratulations to Wizkid on this. I think we need to celebrate Wizkid on this one. And then he needs to wake up, stop relaxing, and start promoting his work out there. Wizkid becomes the first African artist to earn over 20 billion global audio on demand streams across all credits. That is Starboy flying right there. And a lot of people are now giving a shout out to Wizkid and a lot of other things. But one thing you need to understand about the story of Wizkid is that this guy is very hot in the music industry. The first time I heard Wizkid actually sing was like, about in 2009 or 10. That was when I heard Wizkid the first time. When mi actually featured Wizkid in a particular song, that was really, really inspiration for me, because Wizkid was about the youngest artist in the music industry then, and a lot of people were attuned with Wizkid, especially the teens in Nigeria. The young people were really in love with Wizkid, and I think young people were not really, really in the music industry like that until a person of Davido actually came in, and then it became like Davido versus Wizkid at the time. Then we got the likes of Skills and others people. They were not really measuring up. We got Ice Prince, we got later Burna Boy, and the music industry became saturated with a lot of young people. But right now, Wizkid is one of the biggest artists in Africa, but he needs to actually preserve his own position as the biggest artist in Africa. That is something I feel about Wizkid. And the only way to do that is to start promoting, start having collaborations, start becoming friendly with a lot of people, start, connecting with the fans, maybe doing live streaming, connecting on, podcast show, going to places where he wants to connect, and then maybe change this attitude of steez and all those kind of things. Because whether you like it or not, music actually liberated Wizkid to an extent, and music brought out Wizkid from poverty. Not be say that get money like that for their house before, but music actually made Wizkid one of the richest in his family right now. But I think he needs to preserve that actually brought him out. That is something I feel, because ever since Made in Lagos album of Wizkid, Wizkid has dropped about 2 albums now. That is More Love Less Ego album, and then we got Mariah's album. And a lot of people are saying that yes, Wizkid actually needs to up the game a bit. It's not that the Mariah's album of Wizkid is not really a fantastic album, or the More Love Less Ego album of Wizkid is not really a fantastic one, but you need to understand that you got to promote. You got to really connect with your fans out there. We are talking about cancellation of shows of Wizkid as a result of poor ticket sales. And a lot of people are still trying to say, Wizkid, make you the maintain your steez. Steez, not they put money for bank. You've got to put yourself to work out there. That is something you got to understand about all of this. In relations to recent interview conversation that Davido had, where Davido said something, and a lot of us, we got to understand that this guy, the rest, because Davido to me is one of the highest or hardest worker in the music industry in Nigeria right now. That is something I feel. Davido said a lot of people in my position will just sit down and let everything work for them. People be asking me why I got the most followers is because I'm working. This guy is always working, promoting his work. That is what the music industry needs right now. And a lot of people will say, if they jump on TikTok, they promote and all those things, whether you like it or not. TikTok, all those platforms, they are tools, social tools created to connect with your fans as a music artist. If you be anything, they are tools with which you can use to connect with people. And that is what Davido is actually doing at a time like this. And this is all interesting, and we need to understand it from an interesting point of view. Let's listen to Davido on this one. He went to a particular podcast interview and said this, and a lot of people are getting to understand right now.
But I just feel like, it's part of being an artist.
Yeah,
to
for
me.
sure.
It's just like,
Salute to you doing that, because you're as big as the other big artists, and they don't do press.
Yeah.
But you do press.
I could talk. I'm playing.
That's true.
But some people just don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm very like, when people meet me, I like to have conversations. I like to know things. I like information. Like if you see me at home, I'm always researching something on. I watch the news. Like I wake up, I got CNN downstairs, so I'm a very like informative person. I feel like if I wasn't doing like fully music, I'd definitely be in like journalism in some kind of way. So I like to let people know what I've been working on. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely like to let people know what
and
you've
people
been
be
working
asking me like, "Oh, why do you have the most followers? Why do you got the most?" Because I
tapped into your fans, though.
Wait, people ask you that?
No, they just be confused. Like, why I got to be him? Why I got? Because I'm working. You
People don't understand that you're international. It's
yeah, but I'm
different.
saying, a lot of people in my position would just sit down and just let everything work for them. You know what I'm saying? But I know the grind of just, like I've said, I've lived in both worlds. I know how hard a Beyonce would work with all the money she got.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? She would do 50 rehearsals before one show. I recently shot a video with Victoria Monet. That's the first time I heard
Off of me.
Yeah, off of me.
That I was gonna go there
on that record. That's the first time I ever went to a dance rehearsal. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just shows you that
You got bored.
No, actually, then we had fun.
So wait, you was choreographed?
If you watch the video, I did a little two-step. You know what I'm saying? She gave me that little dance step to do, but it just shows you that this is different kind of people.
Yes, Davido said, if to say they do music, what you gonna do now journalism, because he likes to talk. And that is why Davido is always, talking on podcasts, doing press and a lot of things. And this is one of the best ways, or these are one of the best ways to actually promote right now. And a lot of people need to understand that if you not promote, people not go hear you. That is one thing you got to understand right now, because the music industry is highly saturated and a lot of competitions here and there, and things are happening. That is something I kind of understand about this particular big story. What is your own take about this? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that you can have a take on what you feel. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos. Thank you for the love so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos.
But I just feel like, it's part of being an artist.
Yeah,
to me.
for sure.
It's just like,
Salute to you doing that, because you're as big as the other big artists, and they don't do press.
Yeah.
But you do press.
I could talk. I'm playing.
That's true.
But some people just don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm very like, when people meet me, I like to have conversations. I like to know things. I like information. Like if you see me at home, I'm always researching something on. I watch the news. Like I wake up, I got CNN downstairs, so I'm a very like informative person. I feel like if I wasn't doing like fully music, I'd definitely be in like journalism in some kind of way. So I like to let people know what I've been working on. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely like to let people know what you've been
working on.
working
And people be asking me like, "Oh, why do you have the most followers? Why do you got the most?" Because I
tapped into your fans.
Wait, people ask you that?
No, they just be confused. Like, why I got to be him? Why I got? Because I'm working.
People don't understand that you're international. It's different.